Mhm. Okay, hello guys. So today I'm gonna talk about the flood. The word flood, it describes when a river's flow exceeds its channel's volume, causing the river to overflow onto the area surrounding the river. There are two factors that affect the flood frequency: human factors and physical factors. One of the human factors that affect the flood frequency is urbanization that causes deforestation. As we know that the word urbanization means when people move from rural areas to urban areas. When they move into the urban areas, they have to build their own houses, and unconsciously when they are building their own houses, they have to cut trees, destroying environment and creating deforestation. The second point of the human factor is the trash. Sometimes people who live near the floodplain do not care about the environment. The trash that are most likely to be dumped inside the river. Each and every day, the trash would be piled up and flood are likely to happen. On the other hand, physical factors. One of the factors is the permeability of rocks. If the rocks in the area are impermeable, such as clay or sedimentary rock, then the water won't be able to infiltrate into the rocks and will run straight off into the river, increasing its discharge. If a basin has a very dense vegetation cover, the vegetation will intercept precipitation and store it, and it would reduce the volume of water entering a river. If the river's valley has steep sides, water will quickly enter a river, increasing the river's discharge, and it would increase the possibility of the flood. Now let's proceed to the case study. On 16 August 2004, the small town of Boscastle was almost completely destroyed in the space of just 2 hours. Boscastle was located in the southwest of England, less than a kilometer from the coastline. Let's take a look at this picture. The eastern part of the Boscastle, there's a river called River Valency, and in the southern part of the Boscastle, there's a river called River Jordan. The River Valency flows directly through the town and meets the River Jordan at a confluence in the town Boscastle. The river valleys are steep and composed of sedimentary rock, which is an impermeable rock. As I said before, if there is too much impermeable rock, the water will not be intercepted into the rock and it would increase its discharge. Now let's move on to the causes of the flood. One of the main causes of this flood is a combination of remnants of Hurricane Alex and convectional rainfall. The tragedy happened in the summer season, and the heat from the sun gave this intense heating to the ground and creating convectional rainfall. The River Valency's valley has a high relief and steep sides and causing the increasing of the surface runoff. The third point is the ground had been saturated by the previous rainfall. And the last one is the river's floodplain had been urbanized. Now, these are the effects of the flood. The economic effects are businesses were badly damaged and properties are being destroyed. And the second point is less tourists willing to travel to Boscastle. And 76 cars were being washed out to the sea. And the social effects are some people have to suffer from broken bones and hypothermia. Hypothermia is the condition where when people have really low body temperature. The second point is houses were flooded and the owner of the houses unable to live inside the house for weeks. And the third point is water and power supplies taken out during the flood to help stopping the flood. And the environmental effects are raw sewage was washed out to the sea and into the River Valency, and cars and buildings, as I said before, washed out to the sea. These are the responses of the flood in MEDC. In MEDC, just a few hours after the tragedy happened, rescue operation was underway, which lasted until the next day, and over 150 people were saved by the rescue operations. 11 days after the flood, people were allowed to return to their homes to take their belongings. A few days after the flood, geologists came over to the area to find out what are the causes of the flood. And the result is apparently the landslides is the causes of the flood that is triggered by the heavy rain. In just a year, in early 2005, power and water was back up and people moved back into the Boss Castle. And thank you for listening.